WINS-FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Winds news time 9:59. 10-10 winds Acura. There's some rain and drizzle. Cloudy this afternoon. High 48. Clouds tonight. Christmas Eve. Rudolph going to be needing that nose tonight. Some fog forming after midnight. Low 42 in the city. Upper 30s in the burbs. 43 now. Going up to 48. More people get their news from 10-10 winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Roseanne Cox-Peralta is our service aide. Eileen LaPalmer is our writer. Zachary Newman is at the editor's desk. I'm Brian Britton.
All news, all the time. This is 10-10 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. 43 degrees at 10 o'clock. I'm Kathleen Marple-Kalb, and here's what's happening. A deadly police shooting in the Bronx. Authorities say a man was holding his mother at knife point when the officer fired. Hit the road and the airport. AAA says 115 million people are traveling this holiday. You done shopping? Last Minute Santa's helpers are still at it after a huge Super Saturday. Walking with the phone could ruin your day. New study shows an increase in walk and phone injuries. This is a Christmas trip they'll never forget. Spirit Airlines apologizing after sending a 6-year-old to Orlando instead of Fort Myers, Florida. Jets host Commanders, Giants and Eagles tomorrow. 10-10 winds AccuWeather, cloudy and mild, high 48. Winds use on 10:01. Traffic and transit now. Here's Jody Vale.
Let's go to Westchester. Got this crash. It's being cleared out. New England Thruway northbound. It's right after exit 21, White Plains, Cuomo Tappan Zee Bridge. So if you're heading that way, just expect that right lane is still blocked. The Hutch is clear. In the Bronx, we're moving well at the Whitestone, Broad's Neck both ways. New England Thruway and the Hutch are pretty clear. The Cross Bronx is also moving. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Not seeing any problems, really, at the GWB. It's about 5 to 10 both ways. Lincoln and Holland, we're looking at minor delays in and outbound. And the Mario Cuomo Tappan Zee, that's moving well into Rockland and Westchester counties. East River crossings, little slowdown, 59th Street Bridge, and also the Queens Midtown Tunnel from the westbound LIE. But we're moving. The Brooklyn Bridge, there's some construction, so expect slowdowns into Manhattan. BQE, looking at that stop and go from the Brook, make that the Brooklyn Battery to Cadman Plaza. And the Verrazano, not seeing any troubles, Brooklyn or Staten Island bound. Traffic is sponsored by Hawthorne Chevrolet. Next report.
Did you guys see that sign back there? Reckless drivers are worse than fruitcake.
Specials. Drive home a new 2024 Chevy Equinox LT.
We're on our way to Parsippany
For 27 months. Chart a course for
on this day before Christmas.
Chevrolet. Visit HawthorneChevrolet.com.
A violent family dispute ended in a fatal police shooting in the Bronx.
Chief of Patrol John Schell describes it as a chaotic, fast-moving situation. 2 officers went to apartment G on the 13th floor of a building on Creston Avenue. First, they found a 19-year-old young woman screaming with a slash wound to her face, and then they saw the mother and son.
They observed, in a very small confined space, a subject holding his mother in a front headlock with a large carving knife to her throat, and she was clearly injured and bleeding from her area. Our officers gave numerous commands to drop the knife.
That's when Chief Schell says one of the cops fired his gun and struck the 30-year-old son in the head, killing him. Chief Schell called it a tragedy, but said the cops saved the mother's life. The police have been called to the apartment numerous times for domestic violence incidents. Carol Dioria, 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM in the Bedford Park section of the Bronx.
One man hurt, 2 more in custody after stabbing a Times Square subway station last night. Police say 23-year-old was on the staircase at 42nd Street and 8th Avenue near this A and C line just after 9 p.m. 2 guys apparently came up and tried to take his phone, then stabbed him. 23-year-old taken to the hospital in stable condition. 2 men were arrested, a 21-year-old and a 26-year-old. No names or charges right now, but more info is expected later today. A second brazen ATM theft in the city just days after we told you about one on Staten Island. This latest heist happened on Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn last night. Gas Depot Smoke Shop on Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Just before 9 p.m., 4 masked men went into the store, grabbed the ATM, and dragged it right out of there into a van. Then they just drove off on Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Police say it is unclear how much money was in the ATM. Suspects didn't display weapons. Nobody was hurt. That heist, though, followed a Friday morning ATM theft at a Staten Island gas station. Police are still looking for the suspects in that one, too. Winds news time 10:04. They're out there. If it seems like everybody's traveling for the holiday, well, there's a good reason for that. AAA estimates some 115 million people are going more than 50 miles from home, which is up 2% from last year. And a lot of those folks are flying.
Many taking to the skies. An estimated 7.5 million projected to fly to their holiday destinations, though there have been a few delays.
We got here early, and now we get to sit here an extra few hours.
The TSA says it screened more than 2.7 million passengers on Friday alone.
Correspondent Derek Dennis, AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore is watching travel conditions.
For folks doing last-minute travel, if you're doing it on the ground driving, not too many problems. There's some patchy fog and some icy spots well north and west to start this morning. There will be fog issues, I think, later on tonight into tomorrow morning, so very localized travel has that issue. The fog issue is a bigger issue, especially as you go farther west into the Great Lakes. The Chicago airports and Metro Detroit Airport all have fog issues this morning, so there may be some slowdowns heading to the airport.
Of course, whatever your trip brings, stay with 1010 Winds for all the latest AccuWeather info, plus traffic and transit on the ones. We'll get you there and back. It's 43 degrees right now. It's cloudy. AccuWeather says we're going up to 48 today in Midtown. Coming up next, some optimistic notes from President Biden about the economy.
Hey, New York. Are you looking for new ways to save this new year? Well, you don't need to be on a family plan to get the best deals. Switch to Verizon and get a $200 Verizon gift card when you join with one line. And get a phone on us with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Ultimate. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. But this offer won't last forever. So switch now to get a $200 gift card and a phone on us with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Ultimate. A better plan to save is Verizon. Visit your local Verizon store today. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required per phone. $200 Verizon e-gift card with port in per line. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR.
Winds use time 10:06. President Biden offering some hopeful signs about the economy.
President Biden said his outlook for the economy next year was, quote, all good when he left the White House for a holiday break with his family. The latest economic data shows inflation falling and record job growth, but the president faces political headwinds ahead of the 2024 election, with many in the country feeling unconvinced of his economic leadership, according to a recent CBS News poll. Early next year, the president and Congress have a lengthy list of priorities to complete, including funding the federal government, assistance for Ukraine and Israel, and addressing the immigration crisis at the U.S. southern border.
Correspondent Willie James Inman reporting. Even though indicators are good, polls also show younger people believe their standard of living is worse than their parents' was. It's been 4 decades since Americans had seen inflation the way we have it now. Down to the wire. Last-minute Santa's helpers filling out their list today after a big day yesterday.
Retailers call the last Saturday before Christmas Super Saturday for shopping. Retail analyst Bert Flickinger says at least one segment of the industry is hurting.
In talking to people in the toy industry, they're saying with the liquidation of the old Toys R Us, while Target and Macy's are doing a great job selling toys, without a category-dominant toy retailer for the first time in nearly 50 years, toy sales are somewhat muted.
That said, the National Retail Federation projects holiday sales will be up about 3% from last year.
Correspondent Peter King. And if you're wondering how long you have to get it all done, well, many, if not most, businesses plan to close early on Christmas Eve and stay closed for the holiday tomorrow, so it's wise to check with your store and probably get out there. Winds news time 10:08. Well, please put your phone down when you're walking. And no, it's not just for us, it's for you too.
A new study by the National Electronic Injury Surveillance System found phone-related accidents are on the rise, and it's the millennials who are suffering the most injuries. The researchers say tech-related injuries have jumped by 20% since 2020. People are getting hurt tripping over cords and walking into things while texting the most, causing cuts to the face and head, contusions, and just general pain.
Correspondent Stacy Lynn reporting. 43 degrees, cloudy. We're going up to 48 today in Midtown. Winds used coming up next. Traffic on 1010 Winds.
I'm Benjamin F. Chavis Jr. with the good news on the USBC Radio Network. Forbes magazine is known for its proclivity to make accurate predictions about the American economy. The good news is that Forbes is now predicting that 2024 and beyond will continue to witness a steady strengthening of America's economy. According to recent studies, it will be to continue innovations and applications of new technologies that will be the leading economic advancement trends of the immediate future of the American economy. Yet Forbes states that understanding what it means to have human intelligence versus artificial intelligence will take on a greater emphasis.
Join the U.S. Black Chambers, Inc. for advocacy, access to capital, and Buy Black Business certification. Visit us at www.usblackchambers.org.
That's the good news. I'm Benjamin F. Chavis Jr.
Have you been injured in a construction accident, car accident, motorcycle accident, any type of accident? Don't miss. Call me, personal injury attorney Alexander Griss. I'm available 24 hours a day, 718-561-1111. Even if it's a
slip, trip, and fall, the number you should call.
718-561-1111.
Griss Law Group, Griss Law Group.
Don't miss. Call me, personal injury attorney Alexander Griss. 718-561-1111. That's 718-561-1111 for a free personal injury case evaluation. I'm available 24 hours a day. 718-561-1111. Your personal injury case has value. Please allow my boutique-style practice to help you discover it. Choosing the right personal injury firm can determine the compensation you'll receive. That's
Griss Law Group, Griss Law Group.
Winds use time 10:11. Traffic and transit now. Here's Jody Vale.
And we're checking the east side here in town, northbound FDR, right near 120th Street. That crash almost cleared out, but those jams haven't quite cleared. Still seen going back to the east 90s. And west side is nice and clear. You may want to go local around that big jam. In New Jersey, we've got a crash on the Jersey Turnpike outer roadway now, northbound. This is right near Interchange 8 for Route 33. All lanes are open, and that vehicle being moved to the shoulder. Then we've got a stall on the Garden State Parkway. This is at 142. The ramp is partially blocked. Not seeing any big delays there as well. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. GWB is still about 5 to 10 both ways. Lincoln and Holland, we're looking at minor delays. Mario Como, Tappan Zee, it's moving well into Rockland and Westchester counties. And the East River crossings, it's a little slow, the 59th Street Bridge, and also the Queens Midtown Tunnel, getting a little slow from the westbound LIE. We're also seeing the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan. Well, that's always slow. And the BQE, it's just stop and go from the Brooklyn Battery up to Cadman Plaza. Verrazano, moving well, both Staten Island and Brooklyn bound. Mass transit, city subways, L trains, there's delays. That's both ways. It's a switch and signal problem right near 8th Avenue. Next reports at 10:21, 1010 wins and 92.3 FM.
Holiday scratch-offs from the New Jersey Lottery are the gifts grown up.
Well, we're almost in Parsippany if we aren't already.
$1 million in holiday prizes. Don't just give any gift. Share wishes for holiday riches. Because
We're going to get off here and get on Smith Road.
Forecast.
Anyone from Parsippany, let us know in the comments below.
Is low. Half of the tallest buildings in Midtown are covered with the low clouds up above that. They're in the murkiness. I think as we go through the day, we're going to see those cloud levels kind of move around a little bit. They'll raise up a little bit here again this afternoon, but it'll still be damp with some bits of rain or drizzle. Temperatures in the upper 40s. And then I think as we go through tonight, the clouds lower again. Can't rule out some sprinkles or some drizzle. Could even get into some foggy patch, especially later tonight down the mid-upper 30s in the suburbs.
Okay, getting off at Smith Road.
After a damp start with some foggy patches, some sunny breaks likely in the afternoon as it gets up in the low 50s. Early foggy patches, mainly cloudy but still mild. Tuesday, low 50s. Rain's coming in. Arriving sometime, it looks like Tuesday night, continuing to Wednesday, still in the low to mid 50s, and showers Thursday, low 50s, before colder air finally catches back up to us for the upcoming weekend. Right now, 43 on our way up to 48 in the city today. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Steve DeVore on New York's weather station. 1010 winds.
We're going to make a right on Wood Hollow Road.
President Biden's been working this weekend, talking with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Before flying to Camp David for the Christmas holiday, President Biden made brief comments to the press about his phone call with the Israeli Prime Minister. But when asked about the content of that conversation,
I had a private conversation. I did not ask for ceasefire.
We got the Sheraton Hotel there on the left.
Correspondent Linda Kenyon. Mr. Biden did not respond to questions about reports he talked to the Israeli Prime Minister Anna Bapriya.
Making a right on Wood Hollow Road.
News time 10:14. Coming up, the Nets beat the wretched Pistons.
The wretched Pistons. Sorry, Detroit. I didn't say that.
We've been able to do so much.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hope everyone has a great Christmas, a great holiday here on this Christmas Eve broadcast. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next video.